Hello.
Hey Silvia, good to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. And hello, everyone who is watching this interview as well. My name is Silvia. I am the CMO of Estonian Web3 Chamber. And today I'm here with Darren from OnRamp. And the reason we have invited Darren here is because Estonian Web3 Chamber truly appreciates and values each of its member company. And we decided we want to share with others in the Web3 community, crypto community, what our members are building, what is the project behind the name. And that's why we have here today Darren. Hello, Darren. How are you
Hey there.
doing? Tell us a bit about yourself and what is your background?
Sure. So I currently run OnRamp Technologies, which is a payments enabler in the crypto space, which obviously we'll get into more detail later on. I've been here for about 9 months. Prior to this, most recently, I was the CFO at Binance for the APAC region. And prior to that, I was the global CFO at Agoda, a large online travel agency. So I've been in this region. I probably should have said I'm in Bangkok. I've been in this region for about 7 or 8 years now. So obviously at this time of year, loving the warmth compared to my friends back in Europe.
Oh, that's awesome. 7 to 8 years. That's quite an impressively long time. That's cool. So tell us a bit about OnRamp. What is it and what is your mission?
Sure. So OnRamp, I think if I can boil it down to a couple of things. So we are a licensed crypto payments provider in a number of jurisdictions around the world, notably in Europe, where we have a very strong presence, obviously in Estonia especially, but also in North America and increasingly in APAC as well, where, with the evolving, I guess, legal environment here, there's more and more opportunity for players such as ourselves. So I think we can boil down our mission to having observed back in the day, I guess around 2019, that a number of Web3 players were really struggling to find ways to on-ramp their customers into their gaming environment. Likewise for exchanges, where the payment rails weren't always easy or obvious. They definitely felt like there was a gap in the marketplace, and our mission was really to try and make that whole process easier and more seamless for Web3 players. I think since then we've expanded, I guess, our mission to go beyond on and off ramping to also enable crypto payments for merchants who are increasingly interested in this as a payment method. And it's a hugely growing market, so we are definitely very active players in that space as well.
That is very cool. Yes, the crypto payment landscape is truly certainly growing. But what do you think sets you apart from your competitors?
I think a few things make us relatively unique. So first of all, we do have this global presence, which not all of our competitors do, operate in the same jurisdictions that we can offer. So that's part one, and it's partly based on the I guess the breadth of licenses that we have. I think the other thing is also we have a global mindset, and we're very keen on especially working with players who want to operate globally, want to move fast into other markets and expand their operations, and we can really help and facilitate that. And that's point one. I think point two is we do have some quite complex customers in our portfolio with some very challenging, I guess, business models. So we're used to bespoking our offering for customers and making sure that we tailor it to what they need. And we're quite, I guess, innovative, I'd say, and very customer focused in terms of trying to deliver a solution for them. And lastly, we do have a sister company, CoinWeb, who are operating in the crypto space as well, actually, a protocol for an infrastructure protocol, and they have a number of projects building on them. So through our partnership with our sister company, we can offer a seamless experience for them where these projects, as they build out and start thinking about, okay, that's great, but how do I get my customers on board? How do I enable them to work with my tokens, etc.? we can obviously facilitate that translation of fiat into whatever token they're using with their project. So that, I guess, that halo effects between the two companies, that symbiosis, is quite compelling for a lot of customers as well.
That's very great to hear. How do you foresee the role that crypto will be playing in the payment industry in the long run? And what significance does this bring to the community or the industry itself?
Yeah, so I think there are a couple of challenges at the moment, mainly around education and regulation. So first, if I talk about education, I think for merchants, the key thing that they need to be assured of is that they're not going to suffer any losses through, I guess, cryptocurrency volatility. When we speak to merchants at various trade events, etc., that's always their number one concern. It's like, oh, I'm not sure if I can accept a crypto payment because the price of Bitcoin is so volatile. I think once you reassure them that it's a pain point that we take care of and we remove for them, and what they see is what they get, and they don't need to worry about that particular issue, then the use case or the commercials of accepting crypto payments become very compelling. And likewise, on the consumer side, I think they just need more education and more habituation or customization to become accustomed to paying via crypto. Because once they realize it's very safe, it's just as safe as paying by a credit card, we can definitely trace back your transactions. We have immutable records, etc., that mean that we can help you if ever there's any doubt over the veracity of a transaction. I think that becomes very compelling for the consumer as well. So that's I think the education side of things. I think what goes hand in hand with that is as people in general become more comfortable with the concept of paying by crypto, regulators also need to become more comfortable with accepting crypto as a payment method. There's a number of markets around the world where I think little by little regulators have got very comfortable with the concept of crypto in a lot of other spaces, except for payments. Take Thailand or Vietnam, in my local area as an example. They are fairly accepting of crypto for a number of different types of use cases, but actually using it to enable payments for merchants is something that is explicitly not allowed in those markets yet. And obviously there's a number of reasons for that. There's concerns over the actual capabilities of crypto as a payment method. There's concerns over what that could mean for money laundering, and there's obviously concerns as well for what that could mean for the national champions in terms of traditional finance acquiring. But little by little, I see those regulations changing. And so once crypto is accepted as a payments method more pervasively around the world, I think it's going to give a tremendous boost to the whole industry. Because suddenly it has that credibility that every regulator accepts that this is here to stay, and it's a real payment method that it should be accepted. I think then you'll see the ecosystem bloom even more. Suddenly it'll become far more mainstream. It won't be this quirky sector that's a little bit to the side of what's going on in the rest of the world. And that's my firm belief that we're going to get there, hopefully in the next 3 to 5 years. And really, that's obviously going to be a great opportunity for OnRamp.
I absolutely agree with that last part, what you said about this going to, once it goes more mainstream, then it will be, regular people will kind of understand more that it's just not just, this blockchain tech thing, that you can actually use it in your day-to-day basis tasks as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but with you being in Bangkok, right, it seems that OnRamp has got an active operation there. Could you maybe share some insights into the Asian Web3 landscape for our members who would maybe like to expand their presence there?
Yeah, I think for those of the members who don't know, Asia is actually the largest crypto market in the world by far. From my time at Binance, having been able to see the trading volumes across all geographies, I can say that Asia far outstrips any other market. Now, some of that operates obviously, I guess, in the grey, because not every environment allows currently active trading in crypto, for example, active use of crypto. But there are offshore solutions, etc., that many citizens of those markets take advantage of. I'm thinking China, thinking of Vietnam, etc., where that's the case. But increasingly, because that adoption is so obvious, I think governments are increasingly starting to soften their approach. I think they've also adopted a little bit of a wait-and-see approach, waiting for regulations in other markets around the world before making their own decisions. As those are coming online, as MiCA's coming online in Europe, for example, that's giving a guiding light for other markets to follow. So that's really helpful. I think in general, though, the health of the Web3 environment beyond just crypto processing is remarkable. The number of developers, the number of projects that are kicking off in this part of the world is insane. We attended an event last week in Vietnam. We were blown away by the number of different projects, the number of developers who attended, and the enthusiasm is very widespread in this part of the world. And I think there's going to be some very interesting projects that come out of APAC in the future that I think people are going to be very interested in.
That is very cool. I hope one day I'll go and see those huge Asian events as well. I haven't been to that part.
For sure. You're more than welcome to come and see us, Silvia.
Nice. What can we expect from OnRamps in the next 3 years, for example?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. So obviously, carry on building out our current portfolio of services that we offer within crypto space is one, and the obvious one. Supplementing that with an increasingly strong portfolio of licenses around the world that mean that we can continue to expand our offering to more and more markets would be two. But I think also philosophically, and certainly what we hear from our customers as well, this separation in thinking between the crypto world and traditional finance world, I think over time that's going to erode. I think merchants are looking for one-stop solutions where they don't need to think about, okay, I'm going to get my crypto acquiring from this player, I'm going to get my fiat acquiring from that player, I'm going to get my banking from another player. They, especially for small, medium-sized businesses looking to grow fast, move fast into new markets, be able to offer them a more comprehensive solution, so they only have to go to one player to get all of their needs satisfied. I think that's going to become a very enticing value proposition, and that's the space we certainly plan to move into.
That is definitely very excited to hear, and we are, as the Web3 Chamber, definitely keeping an eye on all the updates and everything you're doing with OnRamp. And I think this is it also with the questions. We got a little insight on what you guys are doing, building, expanding. And yeah, I think that would be all. Thank you very much, Darren, for finding this time to share with us what you're doing. And yeah, hopefully we can find ways to collaborate in the future as well with the Chamber. And thank you. Have a great day.
Likewise. Thanks very much, Silvia. Good talking to you.
Bye.